some, probably some grass, some more bushes, stuff like that.
But nothing really inside?
No.
Okay. Okay.
We received a grant from Mid-America for some trees, and those were planted in the dog park. Schaefer Park Gardens, we removed most of the garden area and seeded that down for future park renovations. With the flood and everything, we had contractors and materials we had to line up for cleanup and repairs. This process is still ongoing with cleanup, and the walk trail bridge fencing needs to be put back in, and railroad canopy replacement. Like I say, we did a lot of repairs and a lot of reseeding on them areas. And then the high wind we had this summer did a lot of damage to some of our buildings and a lot of tree damage, so we're still working on a little bit of that, cleaning that up too. The new backstops got put in at Balser Park. The convention center exterior was repainted, and then we did a couple shelter houses at Cleveland and West Floyd Park. They were repainted also. New campground grass was sprayed. We killed it, burned it down. We worked the ground, cleaned it all up, and then hydro seeded and reconstructed the pond bank, and that was all hydro seeded, and we kept it watered when we could this fall so we could get the grass growing in there. We had the docks out and welded those joints that were all broke and reinstalled those, and did some new landscaping around the west dock area to make it look nicer and blend in better. The new camper peds and wiring was installed in the north campground due to the flood damage this fall, and they actually cut the line a few times installing the new wiring. So then we turned the water back on and fixed all the lines that they cut. Memorial Cemetery had 9 full burials, 13 ash burials, and 19 lots sold. Rest Haven Cemetery had 5 full burials, 4 ash burials, and 9 lots sold. We're on the list for the DNR to restock both ponds in the spring with bass, bluegill, and catfish. They did put a few catfish in this fall, but they will be back in the spring to stock them again.
Okay.
Are they just stocking, or are you gonna kill it?
Nobody either.
Just restocking. We got it drained far enough, they thought it would be just fine. There's some fish left.
We were catching good bass in the
People were
pit,
catching
yeah.
them, yeah, so I don't see any reason for doing a fish kill on it, and they didn't either, so,
Good deal.
yeah. All right.
Is the railroad not being as pushy about the canopy as they were when we first built that part of the trail? Because I remember you couldn't ride on it until you had
Right.
that.
I haven't heard anything unless Jason has, but probably be our first project in the spring, get that knocked out. All right,
Thanks.
Thank you, Brad.
thank you.
All right, Joe, do you have anything? Street department. Street. While the street guy comes up.
Sorry. You were moving, I didn't want to let you get to the door.
Yeah, there you go, I was heading out. Scott Knight, Lamar Street Department. Make this short and sweet here for you. I'm just gonna skip over a few things. I'm not gonna read through everything, but just on the tree side of it, we did help Parks Department in Kellens remove 280 ash trees on city-owned property. We've got 90% of those stumped, cleaned, and filled with dirt. Street Department then has taken down 52 ash trees in the right-of-way. We got 80% of those stumped, cleaned, and filled with dirt. And then we go around, there's a lot of trees that are hanging low over the sidewalks in the street, so we make a list, we give it to Luke. We did 271 of those. Didn't make it back to see if everybody got somebody in there to trim them up and take care of them.
In the
So
right of way, they're us or they're them?
that's them.
Even in our right of way?
Yes, it's their tree. Yep, it's in the ordinance.
Okay, I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it has to maintain 16 feet over the street and 10 feet over the
I get all that,
sidewalk.
but it is the homeowner's cost to maintain that tree in
Yep.
our right of way.
The only,
We're responsible for taking it down, right?
only if it's dead or
Dead,
damaged.
Dangerous, yeah, the 5Ds or whatever.
Well, it's pretty much, like if it's split after a storm or it's
Right.
split normally, whatever, we'll take it down, or if it's dead.
Okay,
By state law, we only have to take it down if it's dead.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just,
I'm
yeah.
just clarifying.
Because we do get a lot of people call and they say, hey, you know, come take this tree down, and, you know, it's city tree. Well, it's not a city tree, it's, yeah, so. I explain it to them and they're good with it afterwards. Not everybody's happy, but,
You know, a lot goes with it.
yeah, so.
And Mid-America will do it if it's affecting the wires, but
The
sometimes
wires.
that makes the tree really ugly.
Yeah, sometimes you're better to take it all the way down to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we helped Parks plant 22 trees in that boulevard. The alleys, we do go through twice a year, we grade them. This year we put down about 112 ton of limestone rock in the alleys that needed it. Then the grass and twig site, we put in our hours on Saturdays and Wednesdays to watch that. It's about 192 hours for the street guys. Last year we hauled up 119 more loads from the tree pile up to the burn hole. That was about 265 loads because we can't keep up and we're having a problem getting people in there. Colback would come in and grind it, but he would haul it up to Poets in Chancellor, South Dakota, at the ethanol plant, and it's just such an on and off thing that it's getting tough. So to stay ahead of it, we try to haul it up there, which we're doing double the work. We're trying to burn it, and then you got to have the right days to burn it and everything, you know, with the wind and everything, smoke not blowing in town. So talking to Jason and Joe over there, we're gonna look at getting a contract. I got Shamrock grinding and Colback grinding, and it's gonna start costing us to grind them just to get rid of them. So we're looking at contracts where they have to come in twice a year and grind it to keep them down, because otherwise we get such a big pile out there. All the trees that we take down in the right of way, I have an agreement with Del Kellen. City trucks get hauled out to his place, so that helps us save a lot of room. He does not want the public hauling out there because a lot of people drop their branches and you got stuff laying all over where we pick it up. You know, if we go out and come back, we drop something, so that helps us save room. So it's getting harder and harder to get rid of the trees. The compost, Colback will grind it, but he does not want it anymore. So I'm working with Highland Materials down in Sioux City. And he took some of it last year. I think he's gonna take it every year, but it does cost us. So when Colback comes in and grinds it, it costs us about $8,000 to $10,000 a year to grind that up. And then what he does, he spreads it on the farm fields, but it's still got some trash in it and stuff. So it's gonna be about the same price for us to load it and have Kellen's haul it down to Highland, so we're dealing with that too. I mean, we've been paying that fee for the last 6, 7, 8 years. So, is that making
In
sense?
what
Okay.
form are you hauling it? What-
We're hauling it just the way it is, non-ground.
Non-ground.
Yep. So he grinds it down there and then he mixes it in with his dirt.
Yeah, I've seen these piles down there.
Yeah.
Jason, I want to ask, just because I'm going to, whatever happened, I'm not arguing, whatever happened to the 5D of trees in right of way? Because I don't think it's smart for us as a city. You have disease, dangerous, dead, dying, and there was one more. Or maybe. We'll throw it in there for now, because I can't remember. Dangerous.
Well,
So I
dangerous
understand
is
in a
split.
storm, we're taking it down, or
Well-
whatever. But that was the criteria that I remember, and I never knew we abandoned that criteria. Now, I'm not fighting for anybody, I'm just saying if we've got a diseased tree, why aren't we taking it down as a city?
Nobody here is qualified. You'd have to have an arbitrist come in and determine if it's diseased.
Well, no, you don't, you look at the top,
Well, I mean,
you see
just,
that it's dead.
well, yeah, I'm saying that, but I got people that call. I mean, if that tree is dying, pretty much you got the emerald ash borer if it's dying from the tree down, or from the top down right now. And we're taking those down.
Okay.
I mean, that's very slim and none.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had a guy that wanted this tree down that looked normal that said it was hollow in the inside, and I said, well, from what I look at, it's perfectly fine. Well, he wanted me to drill a hole in it. You know what I mean?
No,
Come
I
down,
agree
drill a
with you.
hole
I
and say,
agree.
because he wanted the tree down. I mean, we still do to a point, Clark, take them down, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But we gotta be a little bit,
Selective.
yes,
I agree,
because,
Scott, I just,
Yeah.
it's more of a question than anything, because.
yeah,
Well, I think it got changed, Clark, because by Iowa code, a city is responsible for certain aspects of it, but the adjoining property owner is also responsible for certain things.
Okay.
So I think when it got, what happened to the 5Ds, it became essentially what the Iowa code says.
Okay, so I was just curious, okay. I mean, I was just curious, because the last I knew, that's what we lived by, but that's, I'm with you on it.
yeah, no,
I'm with you
yeah.
on it.
It's crazy what people come up with for ideas of why they want their tree down, but, you know, so we just stick with kind of the same thing. But yeah, I mean, you can see if a half a tree is dead, you know, it's not fully dead, we're gonna take it down.
We're
I mean,
marking it.
yeah, but,
But speaking of that, when I had that big one fall in my back drainage area, I
Yeah.
cut it up.
yep.
It was a lot. But there are a couple that are growing right in there that are gonna cause us problems with the drainage, so, I mean, I know you've looked at it before, so.
We did take some down, I don't know if we took 6 down just coming in between
Yeah.
Jules, you know, from Central Avenue. We
Right.
did take 6 of those down, but there is a bunch in that easement back there that could probably, I don't know, some of the people like them back there, some don't.
Sometime when you have more time, we'll look at them again.
Yeah,
Because I think
yeah.
there's 1 or 2 that are gonna cause us problems pretty
Yeah,
soon.
yeah,
So, anyway.
yeah, we can get in, I mean, yeah. we
What
can-
I have to cut, I'll cut.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Yep. So, and then, on street repairs, we did about $783,000 worth of repairs. We did that 4th Street bridge repair, which is about 247. 11th Street was 176. And then on Schaefer Avenue, that was our most, we did about $70,000 worth of foam filling. There's voids 3 to 4 feet underneath the center of that street. So instead of tearing the street out, which would have probably been about 300,000, you know, we just foam filled the street. Besides down at the bottom, there's a few little spots we have to maybe cut out and repair, but 90% of that street was in good shape, so. And then on 6th Avenue, we did a little bit where the panels were good. They come in and we saw cut the joints and then they raise it up to level it out, so. And then we're still doing crack sealing on the streets, about $71,000 worth there. Potholes, we're down from 3,500 to about 1,200. And then I'm just gonna jump to snow there. We're about 75 hours less on regular hours and 66 hours less on overtime last year compared to 2023. And then just some of the stuff, the June 22nd flood, that was, you know, that took a lot of work, about 3 months worth of work on and off to fix all the damaged areas. And I think, like Brad said, there's still a little bit out at the pond to fix, nothing, kind of some minor stuff, but, and then June 30th, that storm, the windstorm, that was about 2 weeks worth of cleanup. I don't remember how many trees we had to take down that were damaged. About 146 load of branches and trees were picked up. We got some new software hooked up in all the traffic cabinets on Business 75. And then we're working with Stanley Consultants on replacing the traffic lights downtown. Jason and I just got done with them. They're proceeding with the pre-final design on that. And then the equipment purchase, we did order the 2026 International chassis for the snowplow truck. And then I don't know what pictures you got next. I got a couple pictures of our paint machine just to show you what we went from 1990 up till what, 2019. And then we fabricated that Isuzu truck, and by us doing that and getting that up, that's gonna save us $25,000 a year by us painting that Business 75 ourselves. And then I just put a few pictures in there of what we do as a mechanic and fabricate and work done in-house. I say we save anywhere from 30 to 50,000 a year just by the work that we do in-house. Fabricating and stuff that, you know, we do it and fix it, try to save some money. That's all I have. If you got any questions,
Thank you, Scott.
okay?
Thanks.
Joe, you have nothing?
What I'm going to say is I'm meeting with department heads next Tuesday to get our budget stuff kind of kicked off, and then after that meeting, I'll get committee time set up for council.
So under your new criteria, Joe, what's the flags that it comes to the committee?
Hopefully we're going to remove a lot of the flags before it comes to them, so it's going to be
But I'm
more-
saying, what's your criteria to involve committee? I
You're
mean,
still gonna see everything. I just wanted to sit down with department heads first.
And get a
a
check
game
out.
Plan, yep. And then when we come to the committee, then we can just kind of go over and tell you kind of what it is, and if you have questions or if there's a big concern, then you bring it up there.
okay, and I kind of assumed that all, and I applaud your new system, I really do. But, like personnel would automatically come to
That'll
committee.
automatically come to council.
Okay, and then equipment,
That will, yep,
I mean, over 5, not a wheelbarrow, but.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
those are things right now that are,
I don't want to debate the show.
yeah, no, that's what's kind of set out right now is those big items. That's gonna be discussed next week. So we
Okay.
kind of get a game plan
Good,
for
okay.
hopefully a 5-year map that we can kind of play with.
Okay. Mark?
Jason brought it up in November. The election was in November. If you have a yard sign in your yard, you can't keep it till the next election. He's not running. That's all. I'm not looking at anybody here.
I ain't got one, so I know you're not.
I'm looking down the block at a house.
Yeah, there's one
Anyway,
down the
there's like 4 of
street.
them, so
Yeah.
I get it. You know, put it in your garage and keep it. It's just, but anyway, that's all.
Okay.
I haven't seen any yard signs.
You're not looking for it.
I'm good.
You gotta look harder. The only thing I have is January 30th, 5:30 p.m. It's a Thursday, is what I'm shooting for the first town hall meeting. There will be a formal announcement and publish in the proper channels to announce that meeting. So if you can make it, great. We'll see who shows up for the public and gauge the interest going from there. So
How does that work? Because I applaud that. I really think it's a good idea. I wouldn't mind attending just to see what, to hear, but how does that work with meetings?
It's an open public meeting.
yeah, open public meeting. Basically, anything can be discussed. I don't think we're not going to publish
An agenda?
an actionable agenda. There'll be an agenda, but
It's a great idea.
Is there a need for a quorum?
you said
We're gonna
January
take
30th?
action on items, yes.
Okay.
If it's just an informational meeting, no.
What time around?
Anything
5?
out of that
Well-
come to the regular meeting? That would be
Correct.
I think.
That's what I'm proposing. Yeah. January 30th. Yep.
Yeah, I won't be there. You said 5?
5:30.
5:30.
I think I really like that idea.
And it's coincidental that, I mean, I want it during budget time, if there's any hot topics. My plan is to kind of bring up some items that we've talked about recently as council, see if there's any input there, and, any hot budget topics, so, anyhow. Clerk?
Just a few things, I guess. Last month, the last meeting, I was on the phone and I misspoke, and so I want to make something clear. I would like us to visit increasing our hotel motel. But that's an item that has to go on a ballot, if I understand correctly. And I think it's something that I publicly promote, because when I'm paying 7% in Des Moines or Dubuque, I don't know why our hotel motel is So it's something that I think should be visited. Private venue, event hosting seems to be increasing. So I don't know how that's affecting, Mark, you can weigh in if you want. How is that affecting our rental of our venues? And
That'd be Jessica.
I know it'd be Jessica, but not in the decision-making of how we move forward with it, you know what I mean? I mean, if we're losing a lot to private venues, do we need to adjust our whole system of what we have to rent and how we rent it? That's
Well,
what
I think that's part of the parks plan going forward,
Okay.
expanding the
Okay, that's next on the list is, I know a lot, and I didn't
Golf
want to
course
bring this
network.
up during O'Toole.
So I think you're talking about municipal park and expanding the Willow Creek.
Yes,
So to host weddings, I would suggest, and that's probably a better question for Jessica, that we're losing weddings to other communities, not necessarily a smaller venue in Lamar's. And the whole purpose for expanding Willow Creek is to provide a setting that competes with some of these other communities.
okay.
And so to get us in that wedding business.
But is that high on the list?
It is.
Willow Creek? Okay, because I didn't want to muddy the waters of O'Toole by throwing this in here, but I want that golf course looked at. I would like a
That's-
report that it gets looked at very quickly.
That is very high on the list.
Okay,
And I would agree with you that it needs to be high on the list.
right, okay. And then how are we sitting on FEMA dollar from the flood? I mean, where, are we caught up? Are we still lagging? And how do we turn out, plus or minus as best we can calculate?
We haven't received anything
We
yet.
haven't received anything yet, we're still working on the.
Oh, I thought we got some.
submittal.
We're still submitting.
No, we're still submitting everything. There's still invoices trickling in.
Okay,
We should be done with it soon.
okay.
So, I get reports on the FEMA dollars that have been paid out throughout the state of Iowa, and it grows every couple weeks. I get a report.
So everybody's
they're
kind
still
of finalizing.
Yeah, they're still doling
Okay, and
it out.
I thought we had some partial payments, but, oh, that's fine, I don't care, that's fine. All right, curious where they were at.
Brian?